All right, welcome to Module 4 of the Driver Content and Partnership Academy. Today we are talking all things Contra deals and UGC or user-generated content. So talking about getting some free stuff and also building some brand proof at the same time, okay? The best part about this is you get to receive and add value before signing any major deals. Okay. So you can figure the brand out. They can figure you out. You get some of your race content costs, your race costs sorted, and you get an intro into the brand. So it's easier to gain momentum, and contra deals and UGC are literally the fastest ways to build brand relationships, have that content proof, and also start to build a portfolio that makes paid partnerships way easier to land because you've got somewhere to refer people back to and say, hey, look, here's my portfolio effectively of things that I've done in the past and what I can do for you. So if you're thinking I'm not big enough for sponsors yet, cool, because this is how you become quote unquote big enough. All right. So let's make sure we're on the same page. So you know what I'm talking about. So a contra deal is you get a product or service in exchange for content. Okay. So think tires, gym membership, physio, apparel, skincare tools, hotel stays, supplements, etc. Whereas UGC or user generated content is you create content for a brand to use on their channels or ads, right? Sometimes you post it and sometimes you don't. And a lot of the time UGC is actually paid as well as being gifted the product as well. So that's the difference between those two. And then obviously we've got a partnership or a sponsorship, which is an ongoing relationship where you deliver value over time. So content, exposure, appearances, hospitality, the whole thing. Okay. Contra is not lesser. Like Contra is like literally a gateway into entering these people's minds and them falling in love with you. Okay, so here is why Contra is such a smart move, all right? And it's not begging. Like people seem to have this misconception about it. Okay, here's the reframe. Contra isn't you asking for free stuff. It's you offering to market services in exchange for a product. Okay, this is unbelievably valuable to a brand and unbelievably value to you as you showcase how much value you can bring. Value, value, value. So brands pay influencers and creators every single day, okay? Even small accounts, because content is so valuable, and content that is authentic and genuine and real people, okay? Like the influencer days are dead, okay? You heard it here first. I mean, you might have heard it already, but I will just echo it. Okay. So the, million follower creator accounts are not necessarily more useful or valuable to brands anymore, because smaller content creators actually sometimes can create better content and have better engaged communities. So there you go. It's literally a trade-off. Okay. And as for you as a driver, Contra is so freaking powerful because it reduces your out-of-pocket costs. Okay. So even a combination is a couple of grand, right? You're saving yourself money there. And like I said before about the domino effect, it makes you look supported already. So if it appears as though, which is the truth, that brands are already supporting you, it gives that extra cred to you and that extra sort of authority where brands are like, shit, well, if this brand's supporting this person, like, we good to jump on as board as well. And the better thing of that is it gives you content to post. So you won't have to think too much about what to post when you've got products to post about. And like I said, it builds your cred with bigger sponsors as well. So what to pitch and what not to pitch. So rule number one, pitch brands you already use or genuinely want to use. Okay. Do not fake it, because if you're faking it, the content will feel like an ad and you'll friggin' hate making it. So great content categories for drivers: physio, chiro, recovery. Okay. We all use them, very necessary. Gym memberships as well. Obviously, you got to stay in shape to be a race car driver these days, because holy shit, you guys jam yourself into cars. Supplements and hydration, apparel and shoes, detailing, car care, tools, workshop gear, hotels, accommodation, meal prep, nutrition, helmets and safety gear, local cafes for content and community, as well as getting, your dinners paid for and things. And then even things like transport and hire cars if possible. So what not to pitch. All right. Do not do this. No exceptions. Random brands you don't align with. Okay. If you don't like a particular brand of activewear, do not go after that brand of activewear just because it gets you free activewear. Okay. You need to be aligned with it and it needs to feel authentic. All right. Also, don't do it to things you will never touch, because again, your content will come across as disingenuine and shit. And also, obviously important, anything that makes you feel yuck to promote. Okay. Another one. So I liken this to like vegetarians, like promoting a fucking steak and greens diet. It's just not it. Okay. And you can't maintain the facade. And then if you become someone that isn't credible, good luck even getting another sponsor on board. All right. So your contra offer, keeping it simple and clear. So this is where I see a lot of people overcomplicate this stuff. Okay. They'll message your brand and be like, hey, can you sponsor me? Like, that's not what we're doing here. All right. You want to message like a creator who knows what they're doing. So your contra offer should include who you are. Now use your one liner. Okay. We've already created that if we're here. Why them? Okay. Do your research about the brand and show them why you're aligned. Tell them what you'll create. So, i.e., your deliverables. So, whether it's a reel and 3 stories or whatever that looks like for you, then make sure you're upfront and clear about that. And then what you would like in return as well. So, if we use the supplement one, maybe it's $500 worth of supplements and you'll do a reel and 3 stories, for example. Okay. And then also the time frame. So if you want, and again, because you've got the racer's edge and you can utilize race weekends as a bit of a timeline for things, ask them if they want to be posted during race weekend or it's a like outside of race weekend content play. Either. And it really truly gets them excited about it, I'm telling you. And then usage rights as well. So literally, I would be always giving brands usage rights to your content, because if they use it in their ads, it's promoting your platform as well. It is the quickest way to get followers. So definitely allow them. And even if you want to do it for a certain time, like say 12 months usage rights, and then they have to pay you usage rights after that. Okay. You can do that as well. All right, so let's talk about deliverables that work and feel professional. So I've got a sort of like easy contra deliverables bundle that you can kind of put together. So I've got 2 options here just as examples. All right. So option A is like a reel featuring the product service, 3 stories that tagged, 5 photos for their use, and then 1 mention in race weekend recap. Or option B, 2 reels, 1 BTS, 1 product in use, 6 stories over 2 weeks, 10 photos, 1 partner spotlight. Okay. Now, it's important you don't overpromise a million things. Okay. It's always better to underpromise and overdeliver than overpromise and underdeliver every single time. Okay. Now, the pitch message, I would, for the most part, probably lean more towards doing like a DM version of this, because if you email these brands, like it's fine, but DMing them gets them across your content and on the platform and all the things. Okay. So you can I'll give you a plug and play DM script as well, so you can just rinse and repeat these ones, but you say hey, and make sure you use them. Don't just say hey, like say their name, say their brand name, say their business name, or if you've got a contact name, or hey social team at whatever, I am, and then say who you are, which category you drive in and where you're based, and that you're reaching out because you love using their products. And if you already have bought their products, just create a piece of content just because, and post it, and then that way they're already like, shit, okay, well, yeah, the next batch is on us because you've already created this. Okay. And let them know why, what about them you love, and then let them know that you can create content that shows the product service in action as part of race prep and weekend routine, and say that you're happy to use it as part of BT, behind the scenes stuff, and not a staged ad. It seems very organic. And then if you're open to a contra collab, here's what I can deliver, and name your deliverables. In exchange, I would love, and then kind of like what you want in terms of the time frame. And if that suits, you can send them through like a 1 page with the details. Be short, confident, and very specific. Now, I also will give you a email version of that, which is a little bit more extended. All right. But if you've got an email address for them, then you can still make it concise, because who's got time to read essays of emails anymore? None of us do. So keep it really, really simple. All right. And the goal is to make it an easy yes for them. Okay. So the boundary part of this, so you don't get taken advantage of, it's important if a brand wants unlimited usage, ad usage, content rights forever, 10 deliverables, but they're giving you a $60 product. Okay. That's not a contra deal. Okay. So here are what your basic boundaries are going to be. So you're going to keep rights to organic posting and then ads for say 12 months. And if they want it for any longer, then that's a different conversation. And be clear on timeframes and deliverables. Okay. So Ask for what you actually need. Don't lowball yourself, right? Like, they will pay good money for this stuff. So just, even you'll get high value of product, because obviously with brands, it's a lot easier for them to give you products than give you cash. Okay. But if they see the return, obviously the cash is an investment, and they know they'll get a return on their investment. So if it feels uneven, then it probably is. So make sure you really are comfortable with what you are creating and the time and effort you have to put into filming and editing and all that sort of stuff, and make sure that it feels fair. All right, so let's talk about how to turn Contra into paid partnerships. Okay, here's the fun stuff. So what we're going to do is create a bit of a ladder system. So we're going to start with Contra, all right? A goods exchange for content. Then we're going to deliver clean content and tag properly. Again, builds the cred. Then send them a mini results update. This is how it's performed. And then next step, suggest this did really, really well. I'd love to work with you again in this capacity. We can also pop you on the race car, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So you make sure you do go back to them with the results. I mean, they will be able to see a lot on their side, especially if you're doing collaboration tags, they'll be able to see the numbers. But when you're tapping into your, your reach and your audience, you need to know your stats. Okay, so make sure if it's on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, that you know your audience demographics, because they're going to want that information as well. So, and whatever you do not fudge these numbers, because you're asking for absolute disaster. So, if you've only got 1,000 followers, that is so fine. Okay, they will work with that, but just give them the demographic. It's 65% male, 35% female. Because again, the better that it performs, the better for everybody. And then you can reach out after them and say, hey, look, this worked well. What do you think about doing this together again? Okay. Now, that's our Contra deals and our UGC. Let's do some homework so you're ready to go. I would write a list of 20 brands you already use. Okay. Choose your top 5 to pitch to first, and then pick your deliverables bundle. Okay. You can use the one that I've given you, or you can create your own. All right. Now, send 3 DMs and 1 email this week. Okay. And then track who you've contacted in a sheet so you can follow up. And don't be afraid to follow up. Okay. Just bumping this into the top in case it got buried, or happy to tailor deliverables if you like. I like to follow the rule of 3. A first outreach, a follow up, and then a final, hey, look, understand this isn't, do you mind if I contact you in the future again? See if this is, of interest to you then. Now, I find that you'll probably the first touch, the first contact point is the least effective. Okay. It's when you follow them up. And then literally on the last one, it's like, hey, look, don't want to keep spamming you. Make it fun, make it cute. Don't want to keep spamming you. If this isn't aligned right now, would you mind if I reach out again in the future, or, whatever. We very, very quickly get responses that way as well. So that is module 4. Okay. Contra and UGC are your credibility builders. Now, next module 5, what we are doing is talking about packages. Okay. So we're going to talk through the best in class proposal decks, what you need in them, what they need to have, what stats you should be utilizing, and all of that goodness. So I'm excited to see how you go with your UGC outreach and your Contra deal outreach. And let's get into the meaty part of sponsorship packages. I'll see you over in module 5.